All right, Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by Coach Mark Shields down in Bar Harbor. And Coach, you've started school already. I mean, this is summer's over for you. I hate to tell you that, but right?
Yeah. This is day two of professional development days. Um, and the summer is officially over considering our practice schedule. We go 6 to 7:30 in the morning and then school all day and then 4:30 to 7 at night. So it's been some long days, but yeah, we're back at it and I guess fun time is over.
Right. So you've basically gone through well 4.5 days of practice. How has it gone? I mean, Monday morning it seems a lifetime ago. Um, for me, definitely for you. That was pretty intense.
Yeah. So right. So we now that it's Thursday afternoon, sorry, Friday afternoon. See, I've lost track of days.
Right.
Um, it's uh, it's funny. My son Jacob, who was on the team last year, I came home and he looked at me. I get home around 8 o'clock every night now, and he's like, "Oh, it's football, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, football, Jacob." And he said, "That was like the longest week of my life, preseason." Um, so yeah, it Monday does seem a while ago, but the boys are working hard. We have around 30 guys, which we thought we would coming in, and they've had great attitudes. They've done everything we've asked of them. Very pleased with the progression we're making on special teams, offense and defense, and feeling good moving forward here.
Are they wearing their helmets during practice?
Yeah, right. So that first practice, I was a little frustrated, I think. We had a bunch of guys that started the practice with helmets, and then their helmets were off during conditioning. And, in their defense, that was the first time they'd worn those helmets. They tried them on, when they were getting their equipment. And I know being a player myself that sometimes, especially now that, a lot of these helmets, these concussion helmets, um, you can adjust the air in them. And so once we figured that all out, now all the guys are wearing their helmets. So that's important.
Yes, I mean, I don't know how many different ways you were speaking loudly to the boys about the necessity of wearing their helmets and how you had never seen so many without helmets.
I think it was almost half the team didn't have their helmet on, and I'm thinking, what is going on here? But yeah, after we had that nice conversation after practice, they all had their helmets on the next practice. It was great.
Oh, we were laughing. We were laughing. Well, hopefully no one heard us, but yes, yes, we were commenting. And you and I have commented too that there were many years where you were running conditioning, and we were commenting on how you seem to have um, turned over that role to one of your new assistants.
Right. So back in the day, a much younger Coach Shields would jump the bags. I always do the station where we're doing plyometrics over bags. Um, and then, right, I ended up having a disc collapse in my neck a few years ago. And my doctor said, I mean, his doctor's orders, Chris, said, you shouldn't be doing that anymore, Mark. So I am listening to my doctor, which I think is really important. I tell my wife that.
The
Um,
first and only time that you using it to your advantage.
exactly. So now we have Elias Byrne, and he's a Marine guy and police officer, and he's young. He's still in his 20s. And what I found interesting was he said he was going to run every hill with the kids, and I'm pretty sure he didn't run every hill that day, but he did a pretty nice job. And he's been doing some of the stations. We had stations this morning, and he was doing in his station. They weren't running hills; they were doing something different. But he was actually participating today. So
I noticed that Elias was much. It was easier a lot for Elias to come down the hill than it was going up,
yeah,
and Yeah, and we did see him like stumble once, and Dan was ready to go over there and scoop him up in the gurney, the golf cart, but he seemed okay.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of rocks and roots on that thing, so
All
that's
right,
why I don't
so
run that either.
good point, very good
Dangerous.
point.
Right.
With age comes wisdom, and it's good that you're able to take advantage of that.
Oh, I'm so much smarter now.
Yeah, just ask anyone. So now this weekend, I mean, there's no rest for the weary. You guys are getting ready to head off for your annual Schoodic trip.
Right. So today, 2:30, we'll be headed over to Schoodic Institute over in Winter Harbor. Um, I think this is probably maybe our seventh or eighth year we've been doing
Yeah.
this. Last year we weren't able to get into Schoodic, so we ended up doing it at Camp Beechcliff, which was wonderful, and it was a great facility. Schoodic is it's a little easier, honestly, for me to organize. With Camp Beechcliff, we had to provide our own food, our own bedding, that sort of stuff. Um, and Schoodic, you know, they have a dorm that the kids will sleep in tonight, and the coaches, and the meals are provided. So that's one less thing I have to worry about. And yes, excuse me. So we'll get over there, 3:30 or so, and we'll get the guys in their bunks, and then we'll hit the practice field, and we'll have a quick practice, probably about an hour tonight, going over defense, and then we'll eat dinner around 6, and then we'll head to the auditorium over there at Schoodic, and we'll watch a video discussing concussions, and then we'll watch a team movie, an inspirational type movie, and then we'll head to the fire pit, probably like around whatever 10:30 or 11, and the boys will do some s'mores, and then we'll be in bed by about midnight, way past my bedtime.
Right.
Um, and then we're up Saturday morning eating breakfast around 8, and then we'll have an offensive practice after that, and then we'll load the buses about 11 and head on back. And it's going to be nice. I was emailing with my wife today. I'm kind of looking for it, and I know the boys are too, and the coaches. We'll have about, a day and a half off. So we'll have basically half the day Saturday back home, and then all day Sunday. And then Monday we head down to Waterville for our first scrimmage.
So this is a great team building. I mean, this is what this whole weekend's kind of about. It's building that MDI family. I mean, one of the things that I know that you have stressed in practices is doing things the Trojan way. And when we break down, we yell Trojans. When we do various things, this is one of those reinforcements. And I know that you've really been stressing family, the Trojan family. And this is a great way to get the family together away from all those distractions.
Yeah, absolutely. I have found the biggest benefit of this overnight is the kids, right, spending time together, the coaches spending time with them. We spend time together on the practice field. And of course, I'm with them here in the school, but it's nice to spend time with them outside of those arenas. So yeah, it's just we honestly, when I first started doing it, I was much more structured with our practice times. And what I discovered was, you know what, it really isn't about that, or shouldn't be about that. It should be more the kids kind of having fun, spending time together. So I've really loosened up on that, and now we're gonna have a kickball game tonight. Of
And make
course.
sure everybody stretches, for goodness
Oh
sake,
yeah, we
right?
don't need anybody getting hurt. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Building, that team unity is, really the biggest goal for the overnight.
And then, as you mentioned, Monday is the scrimmage down in Waterville. You don't want to give away too much because you have to play Waterville at the end of the season, but I'm sure it's nice for everybody to hit somebody besides the family.
Yeah, right. So today, being Friday, was the first day that the kids had full pads on. So Monday and Tuesday, it's helmets and practice jerseys. Wednesday, Thursday, it's helmet and shoulder pads. And then day 5, you're allowed to wear all your gear. So today we did some tackling drills because this is the only time we could do tackling drills. Over to
Right.
Schoodic, we're just bringing our helmets and practice jerseys. So we did a little bit of that this morning, and right, it's just going to be nice to play someone in a different colored jersey than green, and it's just a good way. I tell the kids, especially with this first scrimmage, we're going to make tons of mistakes, and I'm okay with that. Really, what we're looking for is to see guys go full speed. There's still a lot of openings on our roster right now to get guys on the field, and I tell them, I said, just show us something. Go out and play hard. I don't care how many mental mistakes you make, but just play at a high intensity level and show us that you're a football player, and that's going to be in your benefit to do that.
What's the structure of the controlled scrimmage? Is it 10 plays and then a drive? Is that typically what it works?
Yep, that's exactly right. So you have your 1s, 2s, and 3s. So your 1s will go out and you'll have 10 plays on offense, and then they'll bring the ball back to the 30 and you'll have a drive. As long as you keep getting first downs, you keep the drive alive.
Right.
Or you score. And then you'll be on defense, the 1s. And then we go to the 2s for the second round. They do the same exact thing, offense and defense with the 2s. And then we go back to the 1s. So the 1s have 2 different series. And then after that, we bring the 3s out. And then they don't have a drive, but they'll have their 10 plays on offense and defense.
So, I mean, and then it's really compressed again, even though you've got 2-a-days, Tuesday. I mean, probably you do 2-a-days on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday is the exhibition against Bucksport.
Right. So we'll come back Tuesday. Right. We'll do 2-a-days for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay. Well, and then you've got school.
Right. And the kids will be in school those days. So that's going to be, I mean, they're going to be pretty tired. So they're going to have practice in the morning, school, practice in the evening for 2 days. And then Thursday, we'll have our what's called pregame, get ready for the scrimmage against Bucksport. But Thursdays also, we have a combined practice with our AYS kids, and we do a barbecue with them. So that's a fun night as well. And then you're right, we're back on the field Friday versus Bucksport, and then a week later, we have Gray New Gloucester coming to town for the first game.
I mean, it's scary how fast everything is coming together.
Absolutely.
We want to remind everyone that we will have all the MDI regular season games on WDEA Internet Radio, WDEA.am. You can listen online. You can listen on your favorite Alexa device, so you can listen via our free app. And then when the Red Sox aren't playing, we'll have the games on air as well. But of course, everything seems to conflict with the Red Sox games through the end of September and maybe into the playoffs. So, but listen online, and quite honestly, it sounds better online. So, listen, I know we've taken up all of your lunch period today. So, have a great time in Schoodic. Do you want to say anything to Holly? Because I know she's watching this, and we want to thank LS Robinson for sponsoring the coaches show.
Oh yeah, no, she's gonna miss me tremendously. A night without me, I'm sure she'll be miserable, but she'll make do. I'll be back, Saturday. So yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the one calm night, plenty of room in the bed, and lots of sleep. All right, and look, at least the weather's going to be great this weekend too. At tonight over tomorrow over at Schoodic, so you don't have to worry about any kind of rain or anything.
Yeah, that's great because it did rain last year over to Beach Cliff. That made it a little difficult.
Yes. All right, Coach. Have a great trip, and we'll talk to you next week after the controlled exhibition. We'll see how everything's going.
Super. Thanks, Chris.